Testing 1 2 1 2. So yes guys, welcome to Thursday Night Racing League. How are we doing? Okay, so yes, good evening, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're watching the stream. And yes, it is wet at the Nurburgring Nordschleife. I nearly said Nordschleife. I don't know why I said Nordschleife. I was probably racing on it this afternoon, so that probably explains why. But yes, I have got, if you notice in the bottom right corner, I have got my face, so you guys can see me on stream. And you probably get to see the commentator for the first time ever on Thursday Night Racing League. I thought I'd put the camera on so you guys get to see me. You may see my hands move around and probably get agitated and very excited tonight because we are at the Nurburgring GP circuit. It is wet, it is horrible, and who's going to stop the rot with Lemos trying to make it 4 wins from 4? I think, no, it's actually no, 5 wins from 5, I beg your pardon, because we obviously had the 2 sprint races last time out at Circuit Catalunya, Barcelona, which was an absolute scorcher. Compared to tonight, it looks like it's going to be wet weather, but yes, I am on camera for the first time, so, you know, why not? Just thought I'd give it a go. And yes, good evening James. Yes, I do have the webcam set up, mate, or I have the PlayStation camera set up, so you get to see me on screen instead of just hearing my voice. And yes, if you're wondering who this is, of course it is the legendary and of course the one and only Hoppers, aka David Croft. Now I can't say that, you know, I'm not Crofty, I'm not as good as him, but of course it is the one and only Hoppers in the commentary box as per usual for Thursday Night Racing League. And as I say, it's wet. I'd rather be in the warmth of the commentary box than sat out on track. It's looking like it's going to, the track's going to be wet for some time. It looks like the race is going to be abysmal weather conditions as well as qualifying. But if you just joined the stream, guys, we do have, obviously, tonight is an hour and 15-minute race. I believe it is still an hour and 15-minute race. Just to get that out there, just jump back on. Yes, it is an hour and 15-minute race. So yes, as well as 10-minute qualifying. It's not like we were at Barcelona last week, or the week before, should I say, where it was 2 sprint races, 2 35-minute sprint races, and then obviously a 5-minute qualifying. But now it's back to the 10-minute qualifying, and then an hour and 15-minute of racing. It's obviously the I think it's the third endurance round of the season, but it's actually round number 4 of the championship. Believe it or not, it's hotting up in the championship. Obviously Lemos, who's currently sat in pit lane in the Porsche, is someone going to stop him this evening? It's hard to tell. It's going to be thereabouts. I think, you know, he's pushing on for quite some substantial amount of, I'm not trying to say he's got pressure, but he'll probably have something going on eventually, because, you know, is he going to, it's obviously on home turf, is the Porsche going to be thereabouts? Is it going to be pushing on for quite some time? So we'll see exactly how well that's going to go. But obviously you got the likes of Chris Allen in the Ferrari. Looking forward to seeing what the green machine can do. He did okay at Circuit Barcelona Catalunya, or Circuit Catalunya Barcelona last time out, until a couple of mistakes, but you know, he's going to be very trusted round here tonight in that 28 Ferrari. But we'll see how well he goes. Then of course we've got JMR, hopefully pushing on for his first victory of the season, but after a couple of mistakes at Barcelona as well. So there's quite a lot of things ongoing with Team JMR at the moment. Then you've got, of course, as I say, Lemos, but then you've got DC Joe in the Ferrari, so the 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and black, sort of black, maroonish, 76 Ferrari, the green and Ferrari, then of course Slow Wolf in the 43 Bentley, and then of course Future Revenge, who's currently fastest with a 209.792. So yes, it is going to be a quite exciting night of racing. I'm just going to obviously see what is going to happen, but as I say, tonight is the first wet race of the season. I'm not too sure how drivers are going to compare in the wet. I think the wet is obviously, as I say, the wetness of the track is going to be vital, but it's getting the setup right. I have no idea what the setups are going to like for these guys. All I know is that the weather conditions will probably play havoc for this evening. As you can tell, it's absolutely teeming it down with rain. I don't know how them hardly spectators don't have the umbrellas up, but as I say, it looks like we could be in for wet. It looks like it's going to be wet for throughout qualifying as well as probably free practice. We do have potentially 10 drivers on the grid tonight, which is a big shame really, because with Thursday Night Racing League being one of the nicest Assetto Corsa Competizione leagues out there, you know, it's a bit uneven with the numbers. I believe Yuri's missing. Yuri isn't going to be making it this evening, but we'll try and figure out who is here and who isn't. As I say, there is a lot to look out for. As I say, with the likes of JMI has gone to 204.164. I think the conditions are probably going to hamper. He hasn't got his wiper on at the moment with his Ferrari, nor has he got his lights on, but maybe he's playing it safe. But yeah, as I say, it's going to be thereabouts. So James is currently still setting the pace. Then is he going to stop the rot of Lemos into potentially the unknown territory, as the screen goes a bit bright there. It's a bit weird. So if the screen does go bright and the camera does go bright, I wouldn't worry about it too much, but I'll try and offer the variation cameras as I do. But yeah, it's going to be a good night of racing. I hope you know, it gets better as the night goes on. As I say, 10 drivers tonight may be a possibility to see exactly what goes on, but at least you get to see the face of the commentator this time round instead of hearing the commentator as well at the same time. So what does that mean for tonight? I'm just going to make sure I'm still heard on stream. But yes, still got around 49 minutes left of free practice. Getting the times in and getting hopefully thick and fast quick times, but James goes to 203.513 at the moment. He's a bit thereabouts. You know, hopefully I'll get one of the drivers in for a driver interview at the end of the evening. I'm just going to see obviously how tonight goes. It's as I say, you know, to be obviously doing driver interviews, it's, you know, it's okay, but just got to make sure we've got a good enough grid so I can get, you know, maybe one or two drivers in. I believe Stefano Marchetto may be making it tonight. He's under the weather at the moment, but if he makes it, you know, who knows what he can do. He's actually done well round here in the past. It looks like the Bentleys, although there's 2 Bentleys out there at the moment. Chris Allen is second at the moment, so it's Ferrari 1-2 at the moment. Then of course you've got Lemos, DC Joe, and then of course Slow Wolf thereabouts. But who knows what will happen tonight? So yeah, I'm just making sure I'm still seen on screen as well. But you know, first time you ever seen the face of the commentator, I thought it'd be nice, you know, so the guys can see potentially my reaction as well as doing the comms. But you know, it is quite interesting. So if you do like the stream, guys, do give us a massive thumbs up. Do give us a message if you are in the chat. But as I say, tonight should be very interesting, especially with the wet weather. It's looking likely it's going to be here to stay, just over the Ardennes Forest. Obviously heading towards the Nordschleife, it looks a bit grey and miserable. But as Chris Allen spins out of pit lane there, so we'll see how well tonight goes, obviously, with round number 4 of the championship. Just while we're on touch of the championship, we'll just have a look exactly with the standings as well, because you know we do have, of course, the standings of what is happening. So championship table then, going into the 4th round of the championship. This is where exactly season 6 is. It's been well and truly underrated. I believe after round number 3 though, it's Lemos that leads the way, followed by JMR. JMR's quite far, but he's not far back. He's actually 25 points, I think. 25 points behind. Then you've got EW, who's on, so Lemos is on 100, so then JMR's on 75. Then you've got EW on 49, which he is 51 points back. Then you've got 7 Marchetto in the Audi R8, the underrated Audi for the Italian. He's on 45, he's 55 points behind. Then you've got Slow Wolf. Then of course you've got Skyfu. So Slow Wolf's on 38. Then you've got Skyfu on 36. Mambo on 33. Future Revenge on 28 and a half. Then you've got Stansland on, of course, 24. Then you've got Chris Allen on 16. Juric Jr. on 14 and a half. Then you've got firstly Bucher on 10.5. Then Yuri on 9. Captain Slow on 8. Tied with DC Joe on 8. Then of course GLGD Sport on 3 points, and then obviously the AM class is looking feisty than ever. 5 points only in it between Future Revenge and of course Skyfu. Both Bentleys flying well in the AM class. But that is the points for tonight. Going back into the calendar then for season number 6 of the PlayStation 4 lobby, because it is the PlayStation 4 lobby. We do head obviously to Imola in 2 weeks' time. That is the second sprint race, or the last 2 sprint races of the season at Imola. So we head back to Italy for what could be a double header. It's actually going to be a double header because we go to San Marino on the Mazzano circuit for the endurance race at the end of March, and then starting off in mid-April, the last round is of course at Kyalami in Johannesburg. But as I say, it is going to be hotting up. The championship is actually getting close to its climax very soon, and you know, who knows exactly what's going to happen. But looking at sort of what's going out on track, James is in pit lane at the moment. Future Revenge is still out on track, he's just gone across the line, so we'll see how well he goes tonight. It's going to be very crazy stuff out there. But the PS5 lobby though, however, unfortunately I don't commentate on the PS5 lobby because I don't have a PS5, but they were at they were at Watkins Glen last week, and then we have of course they go to the Nurburgring next week, so they come here next week for the endurance, and then they head to Imola, then Mazzano, and of course Kyalami. So they have the three circuits after tonight. Well, after their race at the Nurburgring this time next week, they have obviously the same 3 tracks to round up the season. So yeah, as I say, it's looking likely it's going to be a hectic night of racing here for the guys. It is wet. Peter has made it for I believe for tonight. He had a bit of a torrid time at Circuit Barcelona, Catalunya. He's actually in a black Bentley for a change, so that's going to be interesting to see how well he does in that. But who knows what's going to happen. And then we've also got Skyfu, so there's 8 drivers at the moment in the pit lane, well, out on track or in pit lane, so we've got 8 drivers on the grid, so it's not looking too bad so far. But hopefully I get my commentary skills and my voice in check for qualifying as well as the race. As I say, the race is an hour and 15 minute long. It's a long way to go in an hour and 15. Who knows what's going to happen? But if you're watching the stream, guys, hello, welcome in. I'll just give you guys a friendly wave. So it could be very close to see what's going to happen within Thursday Night Racing League. You know, just looking exactly, Helicam's just trying to chase after the cars, but I'm just giving the guys a bit of time and giving you guys a bit of a talk. I'll see who's out on track in a minute, see how well they're doing. But if you are watching the stream, guys, please do give it a massive thumbs up, and please do subscribe to Thursday Night Racing League, aka TNRL. It'll help the guys out, it'll help me out massively for commentary. Good news is I should be back for season 7, all being well, because obviously my work commitments on a Thursday don't clash, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that stays the same for season 7. I should be back. We'll see exactly what is going to happen for that. As I say, you know, looking at the likes of Skyfu, he's now going out of pit lane. He almost crashes into the other Bentley. It's very easy to get it done, especially on cold tyres going out of pit lane. Luckily, he's ghosted. He goes through the other cars. He doesn't have to worry about crashing into them. But Skyfu is now out on track. Then you got, of course, Lemos, home turf. Is he going to make it a race win tonight? Is he going to make it at least 5 from 5? It is going to be probably the third sprint race, not sprint race, third endurance race of the season. Is he going to make it 3 endurance races in a row, or is he going to be stopped at the rock? Because I think JMR at the moment he's trying to push on as he goes through the last chicane, the NGK chicane here. But as I say, I'll try and get the corner names right if I can, if I remember it from memory. But if I don't worry, we'll give you the sights and sounds of some of the cars tonight as well, during the race as well as qualifying. But yes, as I say, stream wasn't actually going to go live until, believe it or not, now. But I've come on now, well, earlier, because I thought, well, just give you guys, you know, the camera, and obviously, you know, you get to see the face of the commentator as well, which probably makes it worthwhile, to be fair. But you've got the one and only Hoppers in the commentary box if you just joined the stream. So yeah, a bit about me if you guys are interested, and if you are new to the TNRL streams. Obviously my name's Hoppers. You know, I am a commentator for these guys. I have been for quite some time. I've done bits and bats throughout different seasons. I've done a full season, then I did a part season, because obviously I was concerned about work commitments, but they seem to work well. I've enjoyed this since I've come here. I came here in season 1. I think it was round 2 I came here of season 1, as Lemos gets a bit cross up there. Oh, smashes into the barrier. Don't want to be doing that in the race, but it's part of a challenge there for him. But yeah, I came in halfway through season 1, I think second meeting of the season. Never looked back. The guys were so welcoming, and then obviously some of the guys that used to race in TNRL have now gone on to pastures new, which is a bit unfortunate really, because it would have been nice to see them race. But obviously, you know, there is obviously a few bits and pieces as we get into obviously the last 38 minutes of race practice. As I say, so yeah, I've commentated for quite a bit. I've commentated for different racing leagues. I enjoy commentary more than I do racing, purely because I get to see more, and I don't have to worry about being stressed when I'm racing than I am commentating. Commentating can be stressful, but it is going to be down to it'll be close to see what is going to happen for this evening. As we got Slow Wolf out on track. Lemos goes at 203.306. no, 360, I beg your pardon. I just misread that. But yeah, so you know, I enjoy commentary. It's something I enjoy doing. As I say, I'd rather be commentating than being racing. When you're racing, I get a bit more tense, but when I'm commentating, sometimes it does tend to, you know, go a bit AWOL if you're not careful sometimes. But hopefully tonight, it looks like 8 drivers at the moment. It's a bit annoying for that far up, but hopefully we get a good battle going into turn 1, and then obviously, you know, who knows exactly what's going to happen at 4 tonight, as there's a bit of wetness in the air at the Nurburgring at the moment, with the helicam just chasing up. I prefer the helicam sometimes compared to the cameras I use normally, which, you know, I think it's probably because, you know, as things go. But we'll have a look then. We'll have a look at what Slow Wolf is doing. So go on board with the Bentley then. So it's where it's going to be pushing for quite some time. He's going to be obviously pushing on quite a bit as he goes up towards the NGK chicane. It is a fast chicane. It's not the slowing down one, so it is the fast chicane, and it can be a pain to get it right as well. So let's see what he's on an out lap there. So he's pushing the 43 Bentley Continental GT, lovely colour, must admit. With around just under 36 minutes to go in free practice. Qualifying should be around 8 o'clock, so who knows what that's going to bring, because if that's going to be wet as well, we're in for a treat tonight. As I say, we'll see how close it's going to get. But just set myself up. But yeah, as I say, I enjoy commentary. It's going to be great. But who knows what's going to happen. Excuse me. Just give me 1 second while I grab a drink. Knew it was going to do that. We'll just throw the helicam up because then it doesn't go brighter on that camera angle. I don't know what it is with that angle. I think it's part of the camera. I think obviously with the weirdness, but hopefully things go to plan tonight, guys. But if you are watching the stream, please do say hello. I'm not going to bite anyone's head off. As I say, we've got around 34 minutes to go until qualifying does happen. So we should be expecting a few more, maybe 2 more drivers, hopefully this evening. But as I say, it's an hour and 15-minute race, so anything can happen. J-Mo's still out on track. He's going through the last corner. We'll see what happens. He's about to cross the line. He did do a 203.654 last time out, but he's obviously trying to push on to try and get past Lemos as best as he can. But who knows what's going to happen for the English driver. Hopefully he pushes on and gets his first race win of the season as well, because he's, you know, he's been really he's struggled recently to try and get the momentum back, but you never know. But at least you get to see the commentator, so You get the sights and sounds of the Ferrari as well as the Lamborghini, and there isn't a Lamborghini on track tonight because Yuri's not racing, but there normally is a Lamborghini, but JMR's his teammate down this evening, which is a bit unfortunate for him. You got Lemos in the Porsche. I'm not too sure if EW's making it, but hopefully he is. There you got, of course, as you say, you've got JMR, then you've got Slow Wolf, then you've got Skyfu, so the Bentleys are 1, 2, no, 3, 4 at the moment, followed by 8th place at the moment. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen there. Then you've got Chris Allen currently in 5th, then of course Future Revenge in the other Bentley, so there's the 4 Bentleys and 3 Ferraris at the moment. As I say, it's a bit of a depleted grid for this evening at the moment, which wasn't really hoping for. Hopefully we get more people in before qualifying, but we'll see how well it goes as Lemos goes through into turn number 1. He's heading towards the Mercedes-Benz Arena, but as I say, it is quite wet out there as well on track at the moment. It is excuse me, it's not damp, it's wet. I do apologise, yawning down everyone's headset as Lemos goes off again. He's having a bit of trouble there. But James goes quicker with 203.111, so he's thereabouts. He's trying to push on. Is Lemos faltering in these wet conditions, do you reckon? I wonder. It's a bit difficult to tell, but at the moment, JMR setting the pace in free practice then. Could he set the pace in qualifying? It is a 10-minute qualifying session though, mind you. Looking at the time at the moment, it's just coming up to midday here, obviously on the race clock, but actually 7:30 in the evening, 8:30 European time, I believe 8:30. It's done it again. I don't know why it does that, camera. I'll try it on camera setting 1 for when it goes through and see what that does. I believe it's 3:30, maybe 4:30 over in America for people that race in America. But that's obviously the real times here. But we'll see what happens with 30 minutes to go until we get the 10 minutes of qualifying. So JMR then coming through the NGK chicane now. Is he going to be pushing on? He's looking likely. As you can see, that Ferrari literally, I don't know whether he's staying out or going in. No, he stays out, I believe. Let's see what happens. He goes fast. He still goes faster. He goes slightly faster this time with a 203.072. Could be a decent lap time for the British driver in the Ferrari. As I say, he's not got his lights on or his wipers on. Doesn't tend to do that during the wet races. Maybe he knows how to pinpoint through the rain spots on his windscreen. But the number 55 Ferrari then, it's round about there. He's going to have to push on for what could be a substantial lap time if he does very well, because Lemos is, I think at the moment Lemos is quite faltering in the wet. He's trying to push as best as he can though, but who knows exactly what's going to go on. But we'll see what JMR can do. We're just going to have a look what the camera does when he goes up towards the Schumacher S. I think it's coming out of there. It seems to not like the filter the brightness a bit, but we'll see what he does on this camera. But if it does, I'll throw the helicam up for the remainder of the race. But it looks okay so far going into that. I think it's when it's on the other camera, I don't think it doesn't like it as JMR gets a bit crossed up out the Schumacher rest there. But we'll throw the helicam up for tonight's racing, I think. But Slow Wolf currently 3rd, then Skyfu in 4th, then Chris Allen 5th, Peter, then of course Future Revenge, and then of course GC Joe are thereabouts. As I say, it'll be interesting to see how many people actually do turn up to race tonight. There's about 8 drivers at the moment, which give or take, it's a bit annoying, especially for the hour and 15-minute race. I know I keep saying, you know, how frustrating it is with the numbers. It's just, it is what it is, but you know, especially when it's a big race as well. You know, it's going to be halfway through tonight's racing. As Lemos still stays second at the moment. Chris Holland's just gone out onto track, I believe, in the green machine Ferrari. So we haven't got long to go before, before qualifying starts for round number 4 of the championship. Is actually, believe it or not, it's round number 4 already. It's as I say, we're not far away from the season ending very soon. It's I think Lemos is actually struggling in that Porsche at the moment. He seems to be struggling because he's getting a bit sideways and a bit tail happy with it. Maybe he's faltering in these weather conditions. Maybe the weather conditions ain't suiting the Porsche at the moment. As I say, only time will tell, but could be very close then. But could be close as you like for season number 6, round number 4 of the championship. It is, as I say, it is a hour and 15-minute race. If you are interested in joining, though, by the way, ladies and gents, we do accept drivers that are new to racing. You don't have to be really quick. You can be a complete novice. We'll help you get better with your racing. If you want to join TNRL, do head to the Discord. I believe the link is on the top. If you can't read it, I believe the link to Discord may be in the description. Go over there, go and join, and tell him Hoppers sent you. Tell him the commentator Hoppers sent you, and then hopefully, you know, we'll get you in for next season. I believe next season. I'm not too sure what's happening next season. I might try and hint to the admin of the Thursday Night Racing League that we could we do a mixture of GT4 and GT3 cars, and see what happens. But you never know. But it's just an idea. But hopefully things go well then, because we've got around 25 minutes left of free practice then. As James goes into pit lane, he's sat there, he's probably thinking, right, done a few laps now, I'm gonna have to try and see what Lemos can do. Lemos is currently 0.288 of a second behind me, so is he going to push on? You know, I think fair play to Lemos though, he's to get where he is now, to get in obviously championship lead from day one, to now come here as championship leader. It's fantastic. You know, he was season runner-up last season. Quite a few interesting battles between him and JMR last time out. There was also a lot of interest to see exactly what is going to happen, but who knows exactly how that's going to pan out. But it could be there. I do apologise. I'm just dealing with someone else at the same time, so if you see me looking at my phone, don't panic. I'm just sorting something else, because I'm another race league that I take part in. I'm hosting their lobby for Sunday night, but so the guys in that lobby are trying to add me on their PlayStation, so obviously I'm trying to look who's done it there. But enough about that. Let's get on with tonight, you know. But hope you're enjoying the stream, guys, because I'm enjoying just sat here commentating. But as soon as we get into qualifying and get into the hour and 15-minute race, the time will get better. As I say, if I say anything untoward that's very difficult, or you find it hard to understand, then please don't worry. Come and message me, or message the chat and ask me to repeat what I said if I've got anything mispronunciationed, or mispronounced, should I say, because my pronunciations and stuff and 100%, I must admit. As Lemos goes a 202.826 of a second, so it's stopping and changing between Lemos and of course James at the moment, which top two in the championship are trying to battle. As I say, we've got to round good evening, Slow Wolf, how are you, mate? Yeah, exactly, mate. You know, turn number one, yes, exactly that. Turn number one in the wet is going to be absolutely a hazard. But hopefully we get through it okay. You know, I've not raced around here in the wet. I did a couple laps around here before just to get a rough idea. I didn't have it on wet conditions though. But I obviously like this circuit. But you know, I'll try and channel in my inner German and say some German, but I can't because I can't remember half of it. I studied German GCSE, and it's been how many years since I've done that. But hopefully it's a good night of racing as well. As I say, we've got 8 races tonight, which at the moment it's a bit depleted grid, which is a big shame really for Thursday night racing lot, because these lot normally have a big grid, and it looks like, you know, there's a lot going on. I don't know whether it's because there's other races or something else. It's a bit weird because Stefano Marchetto is normally in the lobby before, when getting some laps in. As he said to me before, he's a bit under the weather, so he may not race. Exactly, mate. I'm glad you welcome me. You know, I feel really at home. You know, it's gonna be very close, mate. I'm looking forward to tonight. You know, I feel happy that I'm commentating again tonight. You know, it is what it is, and I'd rather, you know, GDL Sports actually made it. GLDD Sport has made it, so that's 9 drivers. But yeah, I do enjoy commentating. It is a skill. With 20 minutes left of free practice to go, this JMR is out on track at the moment. You know, it's a skill. It takes a bit of time to get used to commentating, especially when you've got new people and you've got people you're not usually commentating for. But yeah, it is a great night of racing, I must admit. But if you like the webcam at the bottom right, guys, yeah, the bottom right of the screen, you'll see my pretty face, the face of the commentator for the first time. I thought I'd add that in because, you know, you're probably thinking, who is this Hoppers bloke? You know, is he what? You know, most guys probably, the guys that are in Discord will see a picture of me when before I commentate. But you get to see me on the first time on stream, so hello guys and welcome in. But yes, oh, I've got an itch right on my nose. I'm gonna have to take my glasses off a minute. I'll put you guys on mute while I have an itch. So there we go, that is better. I believe we're back on. I'll just double check. I'm just going to make sure I'm still heard. There we go. So there we go, guys. That's better. I just have to still make sure I'm heard and not still muted. It does take a bit of time. I'm just going to quickly have a look at some social media stuff. To what is going on. Excuse me. There we go, that's better. do apologise, my phone is actually bright and blinding people. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way. Let's have a look at what is going on. We've got GDL. Why do we call them GDL? Maybe it's because it's GLDD, GD Sport. So maybe it's because of that. But as I say, the weather conditions are catching a few people out at the moment as well, which kind of catches up. Slow Wolf is out on track. Believe it or not, commented in the stream. So thank you for your kind comments, mate. Much appreciated. JMR still out on track, still circulating as Lemos goes out pit lane. Let's see what JMR can actually do, because, you know, no fooling. The kid's got guts. You know, he's thereabouts at the moment, going through the hairpin at the bottom of the circuit. Luckily, with the stream, the circuit map is actually shown. It's kind of frustrating sometimes when there's a yellow flag out on track, so I might for a change during the yellow flag situation if a car goes off, just to make the map a bit bigger so I can see exactly which number it was that's gone off, because the little map in that right hand corner where my camera is doesn't help. So hopefully you guys can see me okay on stream. If I'm too loud or too quiet, don't be offended to drop me a message in stream saying Hoppers sounds a bit low or sounds a bit loud. I don't mind, I'll just audio level for you guys, you know I'll do anything. So we've got around 16 minutes to go then before qualifying gets underway. 10 minutes of qualifying. It's going to be tense at the moment because I think it's tense between Lemos and of course JMR's about to cross the line. What's he going to do here? Does he get top spot? No, he doesn't. He still stays second at the moment. To it. A bit of a weird one. As I say, we've got 9 drivers at the moment out on track, so could be potentially thereabouts. I'm just hoping nothing untoward happens. We've had a few issues at Laguna Seca in the second round of the meeting, but second round of the season, should I say. But hope they got resolved, and I think after that, what happened at Laguna, and yeah, I had a bit of a rant about it. It wasn't intentional with having a rant. Number 40, that is GLGD Sport. He was off somewhere on circuit. I don't know whether I think he's actually off at the back end towards the yeah, he's off there at the moment. But yes, it's a bit close here, so he's coming where JMR is coming up towards now. So I believe it's out of the, as he's got going, I think has he got going? Nah, he's gone into pit lane, it's alright. As I say, he's out towards, I can't remember that corner for the life of me. I'll try and get the track map up if I can, but on my phone, but I need to keep an eye on the stream and see if we've got any comments. But never mind. I'm normally 100% prepared for tonight's commentary with circuit map corners. Depends on what circuit we're at as well, because the likes of tonight I should know quite well because I've commentated on here quite a few times. As I obviously try and know the track best top of my head. Tracks I really know quite well, if this is a stat and a fact for you guys. If you are new to the stream, the circuits I know quite well are the British tracks on here, the likes of Silverstone, Donington, Snetterton, Brands, and of course Oulton Park. If we have any races around there, I know the corners top of my head, because I know them tracks quite well. I do know this quite well. If we go to Monza's another track that I can picture point and pinpoint certain corners on there. Suzuka is another one I try and learn as best as I can. But as I say, we head to, I believe, did I say Imola? Yeah, so Imola is going to be a bit of a one where that's going to be a challenge. I might have to try and learn the corners of that one before we head there in 2 weeks' time. But we do have, as I say, 9 drivers on circuit, which is under 13 minutes to go before The all-important 10 minutes of qualifying, that's going to be coming up at 8 PM UK time, or 9 PM CET, or 4 PM Eastern Standard Time, I believe that is, over in America, if you are over in America. But yeah, we do have, I can't remember exactly time zones for elsewhere, but it's going to be close for tonight, believe it or not. Looking at times at the moment, the likes of JMI, as it's getting really treacherous out there for the wet weather conditions at the moment. I do have, obviously, the not the spotter, but the person that says the green lights or whatever, or go, you know, or halfway through the race. I've turned that off because then I can say it myself on stream without having to be interrupted about it, or being reminded that it's a green flag or whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Dennis Gundenson, I do apologise, I butchered your surname, pal. Hello mate, how are you? Nice to see you. I've butchered your surname, I do apologise. I really I'm not good with pronunciations, as I say, but I do try my best. But hello mate, how are you? Welcome in. David, are waterproof racing slippers required tonight? Yeah, more like umbrellas and ponchos and stuff like that, mate. Still doesn't stop me from commentating though. I'm nice and dry in the commentary box. I feel sorry for the fans that have stood out on circuit getting wet. JMR's still in second at the moment. Slow Wolf in, of course, third at the moment. See what he can do. We'll soon find out how quick he's going. He's in the Bentley at the moment, so he's third at the moment in free practice. Then we've got Skyfu in the other Bentley. Well, Lemos is coming through the final turn now. Excuse me. He's about to push on. There's a yellow flag there. I believe that was DC Joe going into pit lane. But yeah, 10 minutes left then of free practice, and then we get ready for the all-important 10 minutes of race qualifying, rather. I nearly said 10 minutes of racing. It's probably because I've done a 10-minute race today. So, but yeah, it's looking likely the weather's here to stay, this wet weather, which is a bit unfortunate, but who knows. But welcome in, guys, if you are just watching the stream. I hope you do enjoy the stream as well. So we'll soon find out what's going to happen. I'm going to quickly grab a drink and nip to the men's room before qualifying does start. So we'll be back in a minute. I just realised I was on mute. Am I on mute? I just realised I was on mute. What a fool. I was talking to you guys and I realised I was on mute. There's always one moment, isn't there? Oh, jeez. Oh, J Moss gone fastest. 202.727. That'll be interesting to see. As I say, I was trying to talk to you guys, and next minute I realised I wasn't heard on stream. The camera obviously won't detect my voice because I've got the headset in. So yeah. There's always one mistake for the commentator. But never mind. Never mind, it always happens. But yes, how is everyone? How is everyone's Thursday or Friday or even Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? No, yeah, how is everyone's Thursday? You know, how is everyone's Thursday? Is everyone's Thursday going well, or is it Friday for some of you guys? How is everyone's day going? My day has been fantastic. It's going to get even better now for qualifying. This is what I like to see. Lemos is still out on track. Is he on an outrun, or is he? No, he's not. He's about to cross the line. No, he's about to cross the line. What's he going to do? He goes. Oh, he goes. Oh, he was slow then. So he did a 2:03 then. But who knows what's going to happen? JMR's still there, leading the way then. GLGD Sport is thereabouts. But as I say, you've got nine races with an hour and 15. We'll have to see what happens. Just hoping there's no issues, because I don't want them to be. Try again. I don't want there to be any issues, should I say? But we'll have a look in a minute. 1 minute and 16 seconds left. See, I can't even get my words out. I'm struggling. Told you words aren't my best friend. But looking at GLGD Sport then, in the Ferrari, the number 40 Ferrari. Excuse me. But we'll soon find out what's going to happen. But who knows what's going to happen. With 42 seconds left of free practice, it might be where the guys may be on a faster run. There's a few guys now sat in pit lane. I think GL's gone. Oh, GL's gone sick fastest. Nicely done. So that is a Ferrari 1.567 on the timing, but not far away from. Of course, free practice now does end, and we get in towards the 10 minutes of qualifying. Then it's going to be close as you like. Who are we betting for pole position, though, guys? Who are we taking their pick for pole position? I think my money's going to be on Jomar. Because it looks like Lemos is struggling at the moment in the wet. You've got Slow Wolf currently third in. Who was third in free practice? But we are getting ready to go. I think you're right there, David. I think Jomar is going to be the guy to beat. I think. But we'll see what James can do, because James is very quick off the mark. As Chris Allen is the first out. Jomar actually then does go second out of pit lane. Hasn't still got his lights on or his wipers on. He's going very gutsy at the moment. Well, let's throw the helicam up. But let's see what he can do. Chris Allen is out there. DC Joe's out of pit lane. There's a couple of guys probably doing their setups. I believe Future Revenge may stay in pit lane. Lemos is there. Peter's gone out, Slow Wolf has gone out as well, all bit chaotic into turn 1 as the two Bentleys. I don't know whether they had issues, but they look like they got through turn 1 a bit unscathed. Lemos is now out of pit lane. DC Joe's also out. Skyfu and GLGD Sport are probably in pit lane alongside Future Revenge. So this is where the 10 minutes of qualifying will count. Every lap in qualifying will count, because obviously, you know, regardless whether it's a dirty lap or a clean lap, it will count. Obviously on an out lap it won't count, but I believe tonight is a one mandatory pit stop as well as a formation lap. So we'll see if we get the formation lap for these guys. But looking what is going on then, we're going to see exactly how close it's going to get between the likes of Chris Allen and of course J Mart. They're the first two, but Chris Allen has some clean air at the moment, so that could be interesting to see what he can do in the 28 Ferrari. Is he going to go well around here? 8 minutes left to qualify then, so he's about to start his first flying lap. Let's see what he can do tonight. It'd be nice to see. I know Lemos is setting the pace in the championship, but it'd be nice to see someone stop the rot of Lemos's Porsche victories at the moment, because you know Lemos is he's doing very well, but it'd be nice to see someone else take the winner's rostrum this evening. But let's have a look then. 7.5 minutes left to qualifying, but Skyfu's now joined on an out lap. He's got to be careful with the faster guys coming through, obviously, but GL and Future Revenge are still sat in pit lane. But I believe the Ferraris are going to work quite well together. It's obviously going to be very close as you like. But where is J Mart? He's there. Let's see what he's going to do. But Chris Allen at the moment, we'll see what Chris Allen can do. We'll just focus on Chris Allen's Ferrari at the moment. But we'll go through the likes of Lemos. Lemos is there. DC Joe currently there. Slow Wolf. I nearly called him. What did I keep calling him previously? Sky Wolf, didn't I? It's because obviously with Skyfu in the other Bentley. That's why. But nice that the other guys are out on track, so I do apologise, I'm itching my nose again. Very unattractive with 6.5 minutes to go with qualifying, but as I say, the rain is here to stay, I believe it or not. Last time we were here, 43 is Slow Wolf, he's gone off. But last time we were here, it rained at the halfway stage of the race, and we had a Lexus RCF. Actually, I believe the Lexus of Mix 64 actually did win it here, if I remember rightly, in, I can't remember whether it's season 2, I believe. The underrated Lexus RCF is Chris Allen gets a bit slow out of the NGK chicane into the final turn, but we'll see what he can do. He's about to set the time now. He's about to go a what did he do? Was he on another out lap? He must have been. This JMR goes to 202.622 of a second. I believe Chris Allen might have dirtied that time. It was a 205.6, but I think it wasn't timed. I think he got pinged for track limits, maybe. But DC Joe done in second, so the Ferraris are 1-2, maybe 1-2-3 at the moment. Where is Lemos coming through the NGK chicane for his lap time? I'm not too sure what he's going to do, but 5 minutes to go then. Qualifying. Let's see what the Porsche driver can do on home turf. Let's have a look. He goes at 202.442, so it's kind of roughly the same as what the set in free practice before. It's a Porsche, then a Ferrari, then a Ferrari, then a Ferrari at the moment, then Bentley versus Bentley, Bentley, Ferrari. So there's, you know, there's 4 Ferraris, 1 Porsche and 4 Bentleys, so it's a very weird night of racing for these guys. There's no Audi R8 of Stefano Marchetto tonight, but we'll soon find out. What's going to happen? DC Joe's still there as Chris Allen. Is he struggling with that Ferrari? It looks like it at the moment. Yeah, he's dirtied his time again. He's gone off track. It's going to hamper him big time at the moment. With Skyfu's out on track. There's, Future Revenge is the only one that doesn't go out for qualifying. Not too sure why. But maybe it's because he's new to racing and he just doesn't want to qualify. I don't have a problem with that. It's just how he wants to be at the moment. As Chris Allen crosses the line, still lap invalidated, which is a bit unfortunate for the Ferrari driver at the moment. We've got Slow Wolf about to cross the line. He will be on a fast lap now. Peter's still here at the moment. JMR with 0.180 of a second. Excuse me. From, of course, Lemos' time at the moment with DC Joe about to cross the line. He's still third at the moment with the likes of Chris Allen, Slow Wolf and Peter, Skyfu and GD Sport rather, to set a lap time. Future Revenge obviously will be at the back of the grid for the race, but nevertheless we'll see exactly what's going on as JMR is pushing on. He's still trying to push on, he's trying to get them seconds down with around 2.5 minutes to go as Peter goes third in the black Bentley. Fair play to him, he's doing very well round here. He's obviously trying to push on. I think it is a black and silver Bentley. I'll just double check that actually while we go into last couple of minutes of, yes, it is a black and silver Bentley Continental GT, so see how well he does tonight with 2 minutes to go. And you've got JMR still pushing on. He's got Slow Wolf ahead of him at the moment, trying not to push too hard. So 2 minutes left of qualifying is where it counts. Now this is where it counts because it does set the grid as JMR goes slow out of Bliston. No, this is Bliston, isn't it? No, it's Bliston then Advan. Yes, yep. Trying to get the corners right. I think he's just trying to let everyone else go and then see what happens from there. As Chris Allen goes third fastest. Brilliant time for the green Ferrari driver. So we've got 1 minute and 22 seconds left. It's going to be quite interesting with Slow Wolf yet set a time. Actually, Slow Wolf has got to set a line. Yeah, Skyfu now goes third. So the Bentleys are, so it's Porsche, Ferrari, Bentley, Ferrari, Bentley, Ferrari, Bentley, Bentley, Ferrari at the moment. But we'll soon find out with 1 minute to go what's actually going to happen. There's Lemos. Is he going to cross the line, going to improve his lap time? It looks like he might have done. No, he hasn't there. But he's going to try and push on with 40 seconds left actually. So could be interesting to see what happens as JMR thunders his way that Ferrari down to a lot of undulation. As you can see, the fans still out in their shorts and t-shirt and without any umbrellas and any rain jacket. They're braver than me. I wouldn't want to stand out in the pouring rain like this, but I suppose they're used to it and they're getting entertained by the qualifying session that is taking place at the moment. But we'll see what happens for round number 4 of season 6. The PlayStation 4 lobby brought to you by Thursday Night Racing League, as qualifying now has ended. So it is Lemos from JMR. So Lemos gets pole position, then another pole position of the season for the Porsche driver. He's on course to try and literally wrap up the championship very soon as well, but who knows what happens as JMR still on track. Skyfu in third, then Chris Allen in fourth at the moment, but he's not done too bad to get fourth on the grid for this race, but we'll soon find out what he does. He actually still stays fourth, so fair play to him as Skyfu goes into pit lane. Got to be careful with cutting across and then, you know, being thereabouts with the pit lane limiter as well. which JMR now comes across the line. Is he going to go on to pole position? Yes, he does. Pips Lemos to a 201.791. So it is pretty much quite an interest. I told you this may happen as Lemos goes into pit lane and abandons that lap. So that means then JMR onto pole position. He could be on course to get his first victory of the season, and as I say, it is JMR from Skyfu, Lemos then Skyfu. Of course, Slow Wolf got 4th in the end. So there is wet weather conditions ahead from what it says on our spotter. As you can see, I believe it is going to be a rolling start, so it is going to be a formation lap. It's not going to go from green to green as of yet. So it's Lemos, so it's JMR followed by Lemos. Then it is of course Skyfood, then Slow Wolf, then of course Chris Allen. Chris Allen did well to get onto 5th of the grid though, with of course Peter, then of course DC Joe, then of course Future Revenge, and then of course GD Sport. So we are getting ready then to see what's going to happen for race number 1, not race number 1. Get ready for the first hour and 15-minute race. I nearly said race number 1. We can't have race number 1 then race number 2. That would be a heck of a long time. Racing for 2 hours and of course 30 minutes in total if they did that. It's not going to happen. So I'm just getting ready to put in the setups, so just getting ready. Pit lane window, I don't know whether they're going to be doing a mandatory pit stop this evening, because obviously with the wet weather conditions they're probably still going to be just on wet tyres. They may be able to pit for fuel, they may be able to, all depends on certain things, but who knows what's going to happen. But we are getting ready then for what could be an epic night of racing. Just don't worry about the timer on Lemos's on his onboard racing as we get ready for the formation lap then. It is a formation lap. Would be nice if I could cycle through the cars, you know. But JMR then leads them away for the formation lap. It is going to be close as you like though between these guys. I'm just going to make sure I'm still formation lap. Yeah, making sure I'm still heard on stream and that I've not muted myself again. Oh, there's always one thing, isn't there? But so it's JMR then from Lemos, followed by Skyfood, then of course Slow Wolf, then Chris Allen, then Peter, then of course I was trying to remember the grid order. I believe it is then DC Joe, then of course Future Revenge, and then of course at the back of the field is none other than GD Sport. So it is getting ready for a very intense battle round the Nurburgring, round the German GP loop, obviously round this absolute thrilling circuit. And did I say the Ardennes Forest earlier on? No, I didn't mean that. I meant the Eiffel. I do apologise. The Ardennes Forest is in near Spa-Francorchamps. Shows how much I've been paying attention recently to my own commentary, isn't it? It looks like JMR hasn't got his wipers on or his lights. He's probably thinking maybe I can get away with it. Skyfu hasn't got his wipers on either, so not his wipers, his lights. I don't think it really matters as long as it doesn't go dark, but could be very interesting. We do have obviously some rumours that obviously going into tonight's race that Team JMR wanting to win, but could be very interesting to see how well this race pans out as the guys get ready to form up side by side. They'll probably do it heading in towards the final chicane, or maybe just heading out of the final chicane. We'll soon figure that out in a moment, as I have something in my eye, and don't say the eyeball. But we'll soon figure it out. And ladies and gents, we're getting ready for an hour and 15 minutes of racing here at the Nurburgring GP circuit. It's going to be a close battle, I believe. That's JMR and Lemos. Hopefully there's no contact between the pair of them. Both championship rivals from I nearly said yesteryear, I mean last season, but heading into another epic season. They've been battling thereabouts as Skyfu and of course Lemos get thereabouts. I think JMR's just now trying to warm up the tyres, warm up the brakes, trying to get temperature, because it is wet, it is a damp circuit at the moment, as we are getting ready for the green light then here at the Nurburgring for round number 4. We're about to cross the line, and it is lights out and away we go for round number 4 of the Thursday Night Racing League from the Nurburgring Nordschleife again, but we don't see, we're on the Nurburgring GP circuit, but JMR trying to get there, Chris Allen also there. The cars have actually behaved themselves quite well going into turn number 1. So far so good between Lemos and JMR. The two Bentleys that were 3rd and 4th still battling, as the time screen still plays a bit of fun and games with me, but it's not as too bad as GD Sports gone off at the background. Bit unfortunate for him at the moment, as Lemos still leads the race then from of course Skyfu and Slow Wolf, and then of course Chris Allen. No, it's not, it's Peter in of course 5th, I beg your pardon. Of course Chris Allen in of course 6th, then of course DC Joe, and then of course Future Avenger, and then GD Sport in of course 9th place at the moment. So far so good, but Lemos has got there into 1st place then. It's the time screen now then starts to play silly games. It's obviously one of them. It's quite funny how it manages to keep up and then obviously sort itself out. But Lemos leads the race then from JMR at the moment. They don't have to do mandatory pit stops tonight. It's obviously going to be for fuel, maybe, because obviously with the weather conditions, it's no point making the no point having a mandatory pit stop. Go on board with JMR at the moment. You can just see the raindrops on his windscreen. Probably trying to push on as best as he can, trying to get past Lemos, but he's going to try and push on as Skyfu there in the Bentley, the number 11 Bentley, getting a bit crossed up out of the last couple of corners, but he's actually pushing on. He's done very well to keep up with the top 3, so the top 2 rather, so far, with Slow Wolf there also in of course 4th with Chris Allen, as DC Joe goes for a spin out of NGK chicane with the likes of GLD Sport and of course Future Revenge in of course 8th, and then of course Peter now down in 8th. He's now down in 8th, so it's a bit unfortunate to see what exactly went on between them guys at the moment. It's looking likely that Lemos is eking out that advantage then between him and JMR. Skyfu's actually caught up to JMR. So far so good. You can just see what's going to happen here between the Bentley and the Ferrari. It's almost like last season between Stefano Marchetto and of course James, when James was in the Ferrari and Stefano was in the Bentley. But it looks like Slow Wolf is still there in 3rd, 4th rather, with Chris Allen in 5th. Then of course GLD Sport in 6th, then Future Revenge in 7th, Peter in 8th, and DC Joe in of course 9th place at the moment. I'll tell you what, going back to the top 3 then, Lemos is trying to get away from the 2 that are ahead of him. It could be very interesting to see what's going to happen between the likes of Lemos and JMR at the moment. JMR trying to push on, he's trying to get back into race lead, but he's dropped back a bit between himself and of course Lemos at the moment, with Lemos leading then, with JMR trying to hold off Skyfu for what could be a sensational 2nd place at the moment. This could be still a long way to go in this race though, but just looking at exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Slow Wolf in 4th then, Of course, Chris Allen 5th, and GD Sport in, of course, 6th. Future Revenge in, of course, 7th, and of course Peter in 8th, and of course DC Joe in 9th at the moment. But I'll tell you what, Lemos isn't giving up, getting away, trying to get away from JMR at the moment. JMR's literally going to be pushing on for dear life. He's going to literally try and catch up to that Porsche as best as he can. He's trying to break away from the Bentley of Skyfu. Skyfu's actually pushing the Bentley quite well at the moment, it seems. I've got the likes of Slow Wolf trying to push on. It could be very close to see how close that's going to get, because Slow Wolf in another Bentley Continental, it seems that the Ferrari of Chris Allen's still in 5th then, and then the other Ferrari GD Sport still in 6th, and of course Future Revenge, and of course Peter there having a bit of a battle side by side, the two Bentleys. Let's see what's going to happen here. It looks like Peter gets past Future Revenge there. I don't know exactly whether there's a bit of a tap or there's just a bit of paint, trading paint there, but it seems there's a lot of things ongoing at the moment so far. But Lemos still leads them. We'll go back to that battle in a minute. That's further back, but Peter's still there trying to get away from Future Revenge as best as he can, with DC Jones trying to catch them up at the moment with an hour and just under 10 minutes left. But it seems there's going to be a lot of hopefully battles galore. Hopefully we get some interesting battles. We've got obviously JMR trying to push away as he does from Skyfu at the moment. As you can see, he's trying to catch up to Lemos' JMR, but JMR can't afford to make any mistakes like he did at Catalonia last week, or the week before. He needs to push on. Let's see what's happening further back with the likes of Peter getting away. Yeah, he's got away quickly from Future Revenge very quickly. But let's go try and figure out what is going on further back, well, further up now. But JMR still trying to hunt down, of course, Lemos. Lemos is coming up to the NGK chicane as fast as he can. He's going to try and push on. He's got quite a bit of interest to see what's going to happen there. But there's still a long way to go in this race. I'll tell you what, it's still a long way to go. Believe it or not, in atrocious conditions. Fair play to these guys. You've got the likes of Skyfu and Slow Wolf thereabouts, but could be very careful to see what's going to happen between the two Bentleys as well. Chris Allen's still there in 5th, of course. GD Sports still there in 6th, then of course Peter in, of course, 7th, and of course Future Revenge in 8th, then DC Joe trying to catch up in 9th at the moment. But Lemos then, looking back, what Lemos is doing, is he going to get away from JMR? JMR's trying to push on as best as he can. It could be all or nothing between these guys this evening, but at the moment it all depends. But they may try and go in for fuel. At some point, depending on how well they've brimmed the cars up. But as I say, I don't know about their strategies, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Skyfu currently still in 3rd then, with the likes of Slow Wolf trying to catch him up. As you can see, the top 4 broken away a bit from Chris Allen at the moment, which Chris is trying to push on. You can just see how wet the track is, especially going offline into the gravel trap at the bottom of the hairpin, with GLD Sport pushing on. Captain Slow, aka Peter, thereabouts there at the moment, trying to push on with Future Revenge also there, as well as DC Joe. But I tell you what is going on between Lemos and of course JMR literally at the moment, he's got to put, hopefully he puts that wiper on and puts the lights on, because he's absolutely teaming it down with rain. But who knows, he's obviously decided, well, don't need my wiper on, don't need my lights on, it hampers a bit more performance maybe, you never know. But he's so far trying to push up to Lemos, but Lemos is leading the race and doing a stellar job, already trying to push away from JMR. He's trying to make it 5 from 5, yeah, 5 from 5 wins tonight, roughly. There's obviously, just remember, I had 2 sprint races, but 3 endurance races wins at the, well, 2 endurance races wins at the moment, but he's trying to make it 3 of them. But then that brings him on to 5 for the season, with the likes of Skyfu still pushing on. in the Bentley, followed by Slow Wolf, and of course Chris Allen. Then you've got GLD Sport, and then of course Peter, then of course Future Revenge, then of course DC Joe trying to catch up to these guys at the moment. But Lemos then still leading the race. He's got a bit of a gap now, comfortable gap, to try and get past, to try and get away from JMR. JMR literally trying to go nose to tail as best as he can, trying to catch up to that Porsche, but you can just see how well he's going. Could be a lot of fans cheering him on in the grandstands, but I've seen exactly how close it's going to get. But looking exactly with Skyfu trying to catch these guys up, Slow Wolf trying to do exactly the same. Chris Allen there, you can just see the guys going out of the hairpin now, with Chris Allen going into the hairpin. And of course GD Sport trying to push on as well. Peter has got an issue, I believe. He's dropped back from Future Revenge and of course DC Joe. Whether they've had a bit of issues, them lot. But we'll soon find out what's going to happen with Peter. He's actually dropped down to 9th for the moment, with DC Joe going a bit deep into that hairpin, trying not to go off course at the moment. But we'll see what's going on further up the front. You can just hear that Porsche like literally buzzing away, try to get away from JMR. JMR's trying to push on, but you'll soon figure out what's going to happen, because going into the next couple of corners here between DC Joe and of course Future Revenge, the Ferrari versus the Bentley, anything can happen. But you know, it's still an hour and 4 minutes to go in this race. It's all or nothing. But then as it come down to towards the hairpin of the first lap, with the likes, well, not the first lap, but first corner between Lemos and JMR. JMR literally trying to catch him up and trying to reel him in. It's going to be very careful to pick what's going to happen between these two. I'll come on board with JMR and just see what's going on, how close he's trying to get. But that is very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But could be very close between these two. But we'll soon figure it out between JMR and of course Lemos at the moment. We'll see what's happening further back, because DC Joe's still trying to get onto the back of Future Revenge at the moment, as Peter's had a bit of a spin there by the looks of it. He's not doing very well at the moment. He's not enjoying the conditions out there. But let's see what JMR can do. It's got Skyfu and of course Slow Wolf trying to push on, with Chris Holland still in 5th with GLD Sport in of course 6th place, with Future Revenge and of course DC Joe trying to push on. Bentley versus the Ferrari battle. But we'll soon find out exactly how close that's going to go. But Peter's still there in 9th as well, but Lemos still leading the race then. A bit of a gap from JMR now, is it? No, it's not. It's trying to, JMR's still trying to literally catch up to Lemos as best as he can. We'll soon find out exactly what's going to go on. But you can just see how close that's going to get. But the Porsche trying to handle quite well in these wet weather conditions. It's probably none of them trying to stop the rot at the moment in this race, but you've got the likes of Slow Wolf into 3rd then. Got past Skyfu for 3rd place. It looks like the Bentleys have actually swapped places, so fair play to Slow Wolf, and of course Skyfu at the moment trying to push away, or not trying to push away, but Future Revenge and of course Peter, they've Future Revenge has had a bit of a mistake somehow, because he's dropped right down to 9th place at the moment. But got almost an hour to go in this race. It's going to be very close to see how that's going to pan out. But DC Joe there still pushing on. Got the likes of JMR still trying to push up to Lemos, but who knows exactly how that's going to pan out, because these two are going to go nose to tails. Excuse me. Slow Wolf and of course Skyfu try to push on together. But this is where it could get very interesting indeed. As I say, we've got almost an hour left of this race, and I tell you what, so far so good. Not really been major issues, so I think it's because obviously with 9 drivers tonight, it's making it a lot more easier. But shouldn't really say that because it might get difficult very soon. But with JMR trying to get up to Lemos, you can see how close he's trying to get to that Porsche, but at the moment it's not happening. The wet weather conditions seem to be helping that Porsche at the moment, as the likes of Slow Wolf and of course Skyfu trying to push on. Going up towards the last chicane of the lap, then into the chicane he goes. But excuse me, you can just see how close JMR is trying to catch up to Lemos. It's going to be very close to see what happens between the pair of them. You know, who knows what's going to happen. I know it's an hour and 15 minutes, but obviously an hour to go very soon. This is where it's going to be very interesting to see how close it's going to get between the pair of them. Let's have a look as what's going to happen. We've got the battle for 3rd and 4th between Skyfu and of course Slow Wolf at the moment. Slow Wolf trying to push on, but he's made a bit of a mistake there trying to catch up to Slow Wolf at the moment. We've got an hour left then, just under an hour of round number 4 of season 6 of Thursday Night Racing League on the PS4 lobby. But if you are watching the stream, guys, welcome in. I hope you're enjoying the stream as well, by the way, ladies and gents. But yes, it is going to get tense between these two at the moment. Let's have a look what's happening further back as Peter trying to catch up to DC Joe as best as he can. And of course, Future Revenge down in 9th, unfortunately, which JMR still trying to push up to Lemos. Lemos is still out there. He's leading the race. Fair play to him. It's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. But who knows what's going to happen between these two. These two could be having a bit of a nose to tail battle, hopefully in the last half of the race. But you know, just with an hour gone, then well, just almost an hour gone in this race. It's the likes of Slow Wolf trying to get away from Skyfu, which he is doing. Chris Allen's still there in 5th, and GLGD Sport still in, of course, 6th, followed by DC Joe, and then of course Peter, then of course Future Revenge. But to tell you what, the gap has come down though. The gap has come down for the race lead though, because JMR has catched up to Lemos as best as he can. I knew eventually he would. You can just hear the revs of both cars on the limit. But going into turn number 1 then, with the likes of Lemos trying to get away from JMR as best as he can, but JMR's literally going to try and fight. He's got 0.711 of a second between him and Lemos at the moment. This could be very tense between the pair of them. Who knows exactly what that's going to bring, because you know JMR started on pole position, but I believe Lemos got a bit of a gap, and then he's obviously now trying to maintain that gap, but he can't at the moment because JMR's racing that socks off the Ferrari. He's got to be very careful, especially when he wants to go battling with Lemos, because you know what these two are like. These two are, you know, they've not had the moments, but they've battled long and hard in season 5 for JMR to actually get the championship. I think JMR was literally overjoyed when he got the championship from Lemos to give each other a good championship fight. But it just shows the Porsche versus the Ferrari is very close to see what's going to happen. I'll try and see what's happening further back in a moment, I'll tell you. But Lemos is trying to get away from JMR. JMR's trying to bring that Ferrari on level terms with that Porsche at the moment. But yeah, it seems that, you know, the Porsche is trying to get away from that Ferrari. He'll go on board with JMR then, see what he can do here. It's going to be very close to see. Still no wipers on JMR's Ferrari. We've gone on board with JMR's helmet cam in towards the last chicane. As I say, this could be very careful, but still got around 56.5 minutes to go. Not even at the halfway stage yet, and I'll tell you what, Lemos is literally trying to wring the neck off that Porsche to try and say, not on your life, James, not on your life, trying to get past me, pal. It just shows how quick it's going to get. I'll tell you what, GDL Sport is still there, and of course 6th, and of course Chris Allen's still there. But I tell you what, the battle for the race lead is still hotting up, because JMR's literally on course to try and get past Lemos as best as he can. I think Lemos is trying to think, well, local advantage here may do me well, but I tell you what, JMR hasn't put a foot wrong so far in this race, but he's got to be careful, can't afford to make any mistakes. This is where it's going to get down to the near enough down to the wire. If we're not careful, they've got DC Joe then trying to get away from Peter. Peter's trying to catch him up in the Bentley. You can just see that this is another battle that's ongoing, but battle for the race lead then still entertaining between Lemos and of course JMR at the moment. JMR literally nose to tail trying to catch up to that Ferrari, not the Ferrari, the Porsche, I beg your pardon. JMR is in the Ferrari, what am I on about? But yeah, it just shows exactly what JMR's going to do. Is he going to get away from, of course, Lemos, or is Lemos going to be getting away from JMR? JMR could be pushing that Ferrari as best as he can. We've got 55 minutes left. As I say, still not even halfway through the halfway mark of the race yet. Still a long way to go till that happens. But I tell you what, it is looking likely we could be having a very interesting battle. The interesting battle also for the final spot on the podium between, excuse me, Slow Wolf and of course Skyfu. It could be all or nothing here between these two. But I'll tell you what, we'll try and focus on the battles, because there's that many, it's hard to tell what's going on. But Peter's trying to get past DC Joe for potentially now 7th place. This could be a very interesting move if the Bentley gets past that Ferrari. But you can just see the Ferrari trying to get away from the Bentley. We'll try and go back to that if we can, but we'll also go back to the battle for 3rd and 4th as well as 1st and 2nd. But there's JMR and Lemos still nose to tail going out of that hairpin. Obviously it's almost like cat and mouse between JMR and of course Lemos at the moment, but could be very close to see what's going to happen between the pair of them. There's Skyfu and Slow Wolf side by side. Fair play, I tell you what, these two Bentleys are having a bit of a ding-dong battle at the moment, but Skyfu gets through back on Slow Wolf. Slow Wolf thinks about the undercut. We knew that was going to happen, but fair play, as soon as we got to them they were having that nice little battle, so fair play to the Bentleys. But DC Joel then, let's Peter through then. Don't know whether there was a bit of contact or what, but looks like Peter's now got back up into 7th then, with Alexa Skyfu and of course Slow Wolf still pushing on for quite some time. I don't think it's updated my timing screen as of yet, but it will do now. But Lemos trying to get away from James then. Look, James is literally on course to try and get a first win of the season. 53 minutes to go in this race. It's still, as I say, still a bit of a long way to go, but I'll tell you what, looking at Lemos then, he's on course to try and put a fight to James, because James is literally trying to get all over him like a rash. But could be very careful to see what happens between these two, the likes of Slow Wolf and of course Future Revenge. Just looking at his the bar on the right hand side, is he had a lap? Is it a lap or is it his sector? I think it's the sectors, isn't it? Or is it just about, it could be even track limits, I'm not too sure, but we'll soon figure it out, because JMR and of course James and Lemos, with 52 minutes left, still battling nose to tail though. Fair point to these two championship protagonists, you know. James is trying to stop Lemos from getting away well in the championship, but who knows what's going to happen with the likes of Skyfu and of course Slow Wolf. Skyfu pushes on. You've got Chris Allen still there, and of course 5th place at the moment. Fair play to him, never give up. GLGD Sport still in 6th, then of course Peter 7th, and of course DC Joe in of course 8th, then of course Future Revenge in 9th place at the moment, but going back to the race lead then between Lemos and of course James. James is literally trying to catch up to that Porsche as best as he can. He knows for a fact the Porsche may struggle around here, but at the moment the Porsche doesn't seem to be struggling. Seems like he's got it sewn, he's got the setup sewn up about. But with around 51 minutes then still left of this race, I'll tell you what, so far so good. You know, there's not really been any major issues this evening, which I'm happy to report. But Slow Wolf still trying to catch up to Skyfood, the other Bentley. But who knows what's going to happen between these two. They're going to have a bit of a ding-dong battle. Jermar's dropped back a bit from Lemos. He seems to claw it back from the NGK chicane though. It's quite interesting to see what happens with that. But you can just see exactly how close it's going to get between Lemos and of course Jermar at the moment. Jermar trying to push on to get his first win of the season. But as you can see, it is going to be very interesting to see how close it's going to get between the Porsche and the Ferrari driver, followed by the two Bentleys. The two Bentleys are having a bit of a gap now. We've only got Peter and of course DC Joe. They've got a bit of a gap between each other, so it's going to be very close to see what happens. 49 minutes to go then in this race. It's so evenly matched between quite a few cars at the moment. As I say, this wet weather's probably helping and probably thinking, well, it's not going to bother me. But we'll soon find out exactly what's going to happen. But Lemos still there then, trying to get away from JMR. JMR literally going nose to tail as best as he can. You know for a fact it's going to be all or nothing at the moment. But let's have a look what's going to happen here, because it is Lemos trying to push away from JMR. He is at the moment going to Schumacher S, but anything can happen between these guys. You know, as I say, regardless what's happened tonight, it is so far very good between quite a lot of the races. Not really been major issues. As I say, there's only 9 races tonight, but it's a bit of a shame really, because could have had a really good battle. Stefano Marchetto was part of the battle, but nevertheless it is what it is tonight. But GLD, that's not GLD Sport, I beg your pardon, that was Skyfu, which is the same colour car, but GLGD Sport still thereabouts in of course 6th, with the likes of DC Joe and of course Peter 7th and 8th. Then of course Future Revenge currently in 9th. JMR, he's 1.5 seconds behind Lemos at the moment. This could be tense for the Ferrari camp. Well, he's clawing the gap back quicker than I thought it would do, but who knows exactly what's going to happen. But look what will happen between these guys. It's will be an interesting battle going into the halfway stage of the race. We're not even halfway actually. I think we will be very soon though. The halfway mark is fast approaching. But the guys are still contending with a wet circuit here at the Nurburgring GP circuit. But yes, if you have just joined the stream, guys, welcome in. It's good to see you. It's good to have you on a Thursday or even a Friday. But we'll soon figure out what is going to happen between the likes of Lemos and of course James. James is going to try and catch up to Lemos as best as he can. Let's see what's going to happen. Skyfu and of course Slow Wolf, they're still 3rd and 4th at the moment. Fair play, they've actually had a good battle between the pair of them, to be honest. And GLGD Sport, I'm going to get that name dead on one day. With of course in the Ferrari in 6th, Chris Allen in the green Ferrari is 5th at the moment, with the likes of Peter currently in 7th, CC Joe in 8th, and Future Revenge in 9th. I feel sorry for him. He's not really at the pace at the moment. He's going to obviously try and push on, but James is trying to push up towards Lemos. Lemos is actually a bit thereabouts. James made a mistake though, because he's dropped back a bit. Could be very interesting to see what's going to happen, but you never know with James though. He's had a bit of a, he's dropped back. He's had a bit of a mistake though. He's 7.043 of a second. Not too sure what happened. Like I say, he's got to stop making these mistakes, otherwise he's going to be pushing on. So we're not even halfway through the race yet. We may be halfway through very soon. I think when we get to 45 minutes we may be halfway. But at the moment it seems that Lemos is trying to get away now. He's still there. Oh, Lemos is... No, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Lemos is in second. He's made a mistake somehow. Don't know exactly what happened there, but Lemos, it looked like the timing screen did not update for me, so that is why. But Lemos has made a mistake. Was there contact between the pair of them, or was there a bit of a mistake from Lemos? But that's now allowed JMR into the race lead then. Didn't see that at all. Did not see that. I beg your pardon, guys, for what I've missed. But you know, it is close as you like, but Skyfu and Slow Wolf still battling. But JMR into the race lead then. We knew who's going to get there at some point. But I tell you what, we're still not even halfway through the race yet. Still not at the halfway mark. It's going to be very close. It's the halfway mark's actually coming thick and fast. But see exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Slow Wolf and of course Skyfu. Skyfu tried to get away from the other Bentley. But who knows what's going to happen. So JMR then inherits the race lead. So fair play to him. He's 6.9 of a second. Excuse me. From Lemos at the moment. But very interesting twist of an event then, from what we've seen. But who knows what's going to happen as Lemos goes through the NGK chicane and James still leads then, which kind of figures out what's going to happen there. But 44 seconds left then on the clock. See, 44 seconds, 44 minutes, I beg your pardon. I do apologise. I'm making quite a bit of mistakes tonight. I'm normally not with mistakes like this, but JMR then leading the race, fair point. We knew it was going to happen at some point. We knew it was going to happen. But you can see what's going to happen with the likes of Lemos and of course Skyfu and of course Slow Wolf. Slow Wolf's trying to catch him up. Chris Allen's also trying to catch these guys up as best as he can. Then you've got GLGD Sport in 6th, and of course Peter, and of course 7th, and of course DC Joe 8th, and of course Future Revenge at the moment in, of course, 9th place at the moment. As we say, we've got 9 cars tonight on the grid, and it has been a bit of a depleted night of racing for these guys, which is a bit unfortunate, but we are almost getting towards the halfway stage of this race. I think the halfway stage is actually, I can't remember whether it's 30 minutes or 35 minutes, but slowly approaching that as Skyfu and Slow Wolf going through the hairpin, almost nose to tail. As be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen between these guys, but who knows. But we'll see what's going to happen. But could be very close to see what is going to happen between the two Bentleys. As just looking where Lemos is at the moment, he's currently second on track. He's actually going. James is going through the last corner now, about to cross the line again. So Lemos is around 6.8 of a second. Could be very close to see what's going to happen towards the end of this race though. But who knows what's going to happen with the likes of Slow Wolf and Skyfu. The two Bentleys going to battle for third, but I don't know whether Lemos is going to have the speed now to catch up to JMR. The track's still wet and the track is still teaming it down with rain at the moment, but I'll tell you what, quite interesting to see what happens as Future Revenge then feel sorry for him. He's currently 9th at the moment. DC Joe 8th, Peter 7th with GLD GD Sport, and of course 6th with Chris Allen in, of course 5th, and of course Slow Wolf 4th, Sky through 3rd. They're trying to catch up towards the likes of Lemos and JMR. JMR has pulled out a considerable gap now. He's round about. He's round about where he wants to be now. He's very comfortable lead, but who knows what's going to happen for obviously the rest of the race, because it is getting, as I say, towards the halfway mark of the race. We're not even there yet. Still keep thinking it's going to be halfway, maybe because we used to do I think it's because we used to do an hour and 10 or an hour and 30 races previously, but we'll soon figure out what is going on between these guys. But JMR so far so good, still leading away then from the likes of Lemos and of course Skyfu still there in 3rd, then followed by Slow Wolf, then of course Chris Allen, then of course GLGD Sport, but looking very racy indeed with the likes of Peter, and then of course DC Joe still there, and of course Future Avenger. I think Future Avengers slowly but surely now trying to get a string of corners together. He's literally going to be getting lapped by JMR in a minute. JMR will have to flash the lights and say, come on mate, out the way. But so far so good for JMR as Lemos goes through start finish line now. 6.4 of a second still as JMR puts a lap on Future Revenge, unfortunately. But we've got around 39, coming up to 39 minutes to go. It's still a very tense battle, very tense race at the moment. We can see exactly what's going to happen, but see what happens around here with the likes of JMR trying to push away from Skyfu. Goes a bit wide there. Is that allowed Slow Wolf to catch up? Yes, it has. So the battle for 3rd could be very interesting between the two Bentleys, but at the moment the 11 versus the 43 Bentley could be very interesting, with Lemos still 6.477 of a second between him and JMR. But we'll soon figure out what is going to happen. We could be in for a tense end for the race. I tell you, this is getting very close, but you know, the Skyfu and of course Slow Wolf try to push on with Lemos still there, but JMR coming up through the Schumacher S though. This is you know, this is exactly what he wants, a clear track and obviously a clear mind. But let's get that race win, first race win of the season. Still got to push on with the likes of Skyfu and of course Slow Wolf going nose to tail at the moment. But who knows between the pair of them. But could be very close as Skyfu spins it there, so Slow Wolf has to take avoiding action, but that's probably the commentator's curse there as well, as Skyfu now bins a possible podium out of contention. But that's allowed Slow Wolf to get into top 3 as Lemos gets past Future Revenge then. Tell you what, it's still a bit of a way to go in this race, but I'll tell you what, fair play though. These guys have not given up, with Lemos still trying to chase after JMR. JMR is actually, if you think about it, he's going through turn number 2 now, going into the arena section. As we go through to the halfway mark, but so Lemos is still there in 2nd, then Slow Wolf in 3rd, Skyfu still in 4th then, with Chris Allen still 5th. So there's a Ferrari 1, 5, 6th rather, and 8th, with Peter's Bentley in 7th, and of course DC Jaws Ferrari in 8th, and of course Future Revenge's Bentley in of course 9th place at the moment. But I'll tell you what, JMR must be feeling really comfortable at the halfway stage of this race with around 36 minutes, just about 36 minutes to go in round number 4 of the Thursday Night Racing League PlayStation 4 lobby in Season 6, believe it or not. So JMR is going to be joining me, hopefully, in the comms box, just for a quick word after the race. I don't know if he knows it yet, but he will be joining me, just to have a quick word about his race and how he's felt, and then obviously, you know, it's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. But Lemos is still there, and of course second place at the moment. Slow Wolf currently in, of course, excuse me, third place, with Skyfu still fourth at the moment, Chris Allen fifth, with of course GLGD Sport in, of course, sixth, Peter seventh, DC Joe eighth, and Future Avenger ninth at the moment. Still got the 9 cars that started the race, so fair play as James thunders his way into turn number 1 then. Probably thinking, yeah, nice comfortable lead now. Got 35 minutes just to go. It's going to be very close to see what's going to happen between these guys, but who knows how close that is going to be, but I'll soon figure it out. But nevertheless, we'll see how quick it's going to go between these guys. I'm just going to double check. So yeah, it's going to be very close to, you know, but hopefully JMR, with 35 minutes to go then, he's going to be taking a light, well, sort of a light to flag victory, but at the moment, but JMR is still leading from Lemos, and Slow Wolf on this called him Sky Wolf, but Slow Wolf third, Skyfu fourth, Chris Holland still fifth then, fair play to him, with GLGD Sport in, of course, sixth, Peter still seventh at the moment, with DC Joe, of course, in eighth, and then of course Future Revenge in, of course, ninth place at the moment. Do apologise about that, ladies and gents. I'm just making sure I can catch up with stream as JMR goes through the NGK chicane with 34 minutes to go in this race then. So it's not far now. The race is it's been a bit of a weird race, if you ask me. It's been a bit of a weird one, just to put that out there, with how well things have gone. Obviously with 9 drivers tonight, it's probably made it a bit more relaxed, and say if Stefano Marchetto was here, he would be giving it his all as well, but unfortunately he's unwell at the moment, so he won't be isn't racing unfortunately tonight, but hopefully he's back for Imola, because it would be great to see him back out on track, as Slow Wolf and of course Skyfu still trying to push on, but Slow Wolf currently third then with 33 minutes to go. Chris Allen goes into pit lane. Is this for fuel or is it for tyres? I think it's for fuel. But this is what I mean. They can do, obviously. I don't know why he's going into pit lane. Maybe the fuel level was a bit low. Maybe, but that's now going to drop him down to 6th. Potentially could be 7th, or it could be 8th. We're not sure yet. We're not too sure what's gone on there, because it's a bit unfortunate. So that's allowed GD Sport to go into 6th. But maybe it could be for fuel. We'll soon figure it out. But he stops there then, with the likes of course JMR still leading then. About to put a lap on Peter, so that could be very interesting to see what happens. Lemos is still excuse me, Lemos is still second, with the likes of Slow Wolf currently also in third at the moment. Skyfu is there, but Chris Allen, I think he's actually still registered as 5th, because GD Sport was probably a lap down. I'm not too sure, but we'll soon find out as he goes out of pit lane. Then it may be could be for fuel. Oh, that's a bit of a scare then, going out of pit lane. Yeah, he's actually now dropped down to 6th. The timing screen just didn't update. He had a bit of a scare because he didn't realise JMR was coming thundering down the pit lane with the likes of Peter trying to chase down James, but Peter is a lap down, so be interested to see what happens with 31 minutes to go in this race. It's been very interesting so far tonight. Don't understand why we've only had 9 drivers tonight though, which, you know, being 9 drivers, it's been a bit, I'm not going to say infuriating because it isn't, but I will invite JMR for a quick word into the comms box after the race, just to hear his thoughts and opinions of what tonight brought. But you just see Lemos. Where is Lemos? He's there, going through the hairpin. But he's got 2 cars ahead of him that are got to be lapped, so it's all or nothing with around 30 minutes to go in this race. But that shows what's going to happen with the likes of Slow Wolf still 3rd with Skyfu trying to push on, but he's not thereabouts yet to try and get back up to Slow Wolf as of yet, with GLGD Sport in 5th, and you've got Chris Allen now 7th. He's with Peter now 6th, with DC Joe in, of course, 8th, and of course Future Revenge unfortunately in last place at the moment, with the likes of Lemos still trying to push on with James still there. But as I say, 29 minutes remaining. It's thereabouts. Blue flags are waving profusely. I think that is for, of course, Future Revenge, I think. But as Peter goes into pit lane, then it's probably going to be some of the guys are a couple laps down now. So, as I say, anything can happen in this race. It has been a bit of a, I'm not going to say topsy-turvy race, but it's been a bit of a interesting race, I tell you that for next to nothing. But who knows exactly what's going to happen with Peter still in pit lane, and maybe it's for fuel. Maybe because of the amount of fuel that put on board with the cars tonight is why the is why some of the cars are going into pit lane, which is fair enough. I get that. But JMR still leading then, from of course Lemos, and then of course Slow Wolf, and then of course Skyfu, and then of course GLGD Sport, and then of course Chris Holland, and then of course DC Joe, then of course Peter, and then of course Future Revenge. But it seems that JMR is still having a comfortable race lead. But who knows what's going to happen there, because now Future Revenge has got into 8th place. I think that's because obviously Peter was lapped as well, so Future Revenge slowly unlapping himself. But you can just see the likes of JMR still leading this race. But who knows exactly what's going to happen with around 27.5 minutes to go in the round number 4 of the championship. But we'll soon figure out, with Slow Wolf still 3rd, then Lemos still, and of course 2nd place at the moment. He's obviously trying to push on. Don't know whether there was contact or whether there was just, or Lemos just made a bit of a mistake, but I believe Peter's still in pit lane at the moment. That's obviously, excuse me, a lengthy pit stop for him. But we'll soon figure out what's going on with the likes of JMR. JMR's still there. Let's have a look. Will the Ferrari give me an indication of what's happening with the fuel? No, it will not. But nevertheless, it's been a good battle for JMR, because JMR's leading, followed by Lemos, but could be very interesting to see what happens. Is Peter still in pit lane? Yes, it is. Is he had damage though? It's hard to tell whether he's had damage or whether he's just pitting for fuel, or whether the fuel is just taking forever to go into the car. But as you can see, the weather is still wet and miserable. With 26 minutes to go in this race, it's still about Slow Wolf still third, Skyfu fourth, GLGD Sport still fifth, Chris Allen back up to sixth with DC Jaw seventh. They're having a bit of a battle. The two Ferraris, the green Ferrari versus the maroon red Ferrari. But we'll soon figure out what's going to happen between these two. But could be close with 25 minutes on the clock. But oh, it looks like Peter's had an issue with that Bentley, so it's now dropped us to 8 drivers with around 25 minutes to go. Whether he's had issues with the Bentley or the Bentley's had issues itself, but hopefully he's back for Imola. But just see JMR still leading then, 25 minutes to go in this race. I'll tell you what, fair play to JMR for you know, leading the race now and getting on to pole position. He's obviously wanting to show what he's capable of. Will he make it? Obviously next time out is obviously Imola for the final sprint races of the season, before 2 endurance races after that. We'll soon figure it out what that might mean for the championship. But fair play to Lemos at the moment. Try to push on, but JMR still leading them with the likes of Slow Wolf still third at the moment, with the likes of Skyfu fourth, GD Sport in fifth, then Chris Allen sixth, DC Jaw still trying to catch him up. But this is where it's going to get close to see what's going to happen, because I'll tell you this, it is all or nothing between now and then. But it's getting very close towards the end of the race, very slowly but surely. But you know, with around 23 minutes to go, it's still anyone's guess to see what's going to happen, because JMR may be like thinking, well, got a nice comfortable gap. Lemos is excuse me. Lemos is trying to catch him up, but it seems that Lemos could be on course to try and push on. But as I say, anything could happen very soon. But Lemos is still there in second, with Slow Wolf still in third, then Skyfu fourth, GLGD Sport in of course fifth, Chris Allen still sixth, DC Jaw seventh, trying to chase him down, but oh, DC Jaw spun as we looked away for 1 second, but it's now going to hamper him to try and catch up towards Chris Allen. But you never know, something may happen at the end. But then you've got Future Revenge in 8th, but not had the best of nights by the looks of it, with JMR trying to push off as best as he can. But it's all or nothing. But who knows? But JMR then with 21.5 minutes to go then. Still pushing on. Excuse me. With Lemos still there, and of course second with Slow Wolf third, Skyfu fourth, GLGD Sport fifth, Chris Holland still in of course sixth, followed by DC Joe, who's struggling like mad to get back to grips with that Ferrari after that spin, in seventh, then followed by Future Revenges of course eighth. But I'll tell you what, 21 minutes to go. James may have this race sewn up as my telly's about to turn off. But let's have a look what's going on. But you can just see how close JMR is getting to that race lead. He may narrow the championship going down in towards obviously going to Imola in 2 weeks time. That will be the next two races, so there will be two 35-minute races as well as two 5-minute qualifying sessions for the two last sprint races of the season at Imola in 2 weeks time. But see what happens with the likes of JMR and of course Lemos there. But we've still got 20 minutes to go in this race. We're still not far away from the race actually ending. It's been a bit of a quiet night tonight with regardless battles and how many cars on track, but it is what it is though. Excuse me. But we'll soon figure it out. But we'll see how close it's going to get. But you never know. JMR pushing on, trying to get up to a race win now, because he's got obviously clear of Lemos, but Lemos is also trying to push on, as we see here that Slow Wolf on course for third place at the moment, bar any mistakes. Lemos is still going to be second, unless JMR makes a mistake. Then you never know, anything can happen. Then you got Skyfu still there with GLGG Sport still fifth, Chris Allen sixth. At the moment, this could be an interesting battle between Chris Allen and DC Joe. DC Joe coming through the final two turns though, and of course Future Revenge also in currently 8th with 18 minutes to go at the moment. It seems a bit of a lonely race now, because JMR's now spread out a bit from Lemos, but you never know exactly what's going to happen between these guys. But it's very close to see what's going to happen, but who knows. But you could easily see what's going to happen, but could be very close to see how close it's going to get, but could be all or nothing. But you got the likes of Lemos trying to push on, but there is Lemos in the Porsche with around 17, just under 18 minutes left of the race. But who knows what's going to happen between now and the rest of the race, but well, the rest of the 17 minutes. But Slow Wolf tried to put a lap on Chris Allen. Chris Allen obviously will oblige to the blue flags, I'm sure. But as I say, anything is happening at the moment. It's kind of all or nothing, but it could be very close to see what happens. 17 minutes left of this race as well. So we've got Skyfu in 4th, GLGD Sport in of course 5th, and of course Chris Allen 6th, who's about to get another lap put on him, unfortunately. Which doesn't happen, but with the likes of Slow Wolf in of course third place at the moment, followed by Skyfu, who goes into pit lane. So there's probably quite a bit of underfuel cars in this race, but that will allow GD Sport into, of course, 4th place. But he's got a bit of a way to go yet to get into 4th. But could be because of the amount of the fuel that's in the tank for these guys. But Skyfu currently in pit lane, and GD Sport, his teammate, may catch him for 4th at the moment with 16 minutes to go. It could be very interesting to see what's going to happen. But drive-through penalty for speeding in pit lane for, of course, Skyfu. That's going to be a bit of a shame, really. Bit of a bummer there for him. Pit lane drive-through penalty for speeding. It's a bit unfortunate, but I suppose that's what happens when you want to try and get away from your teammate. That's not going to help you, especially when you're trying to get away from your teammate now. That will knock him down probably to 4th, 5th, maybe even 6th at this rate. But JMR's still there, leading the race, 10-15 minutes to go. Lemos is still 2nd, and Slow Wolf in, of course, 3rd. So this is why Thursday Night Racing League is one of the best leagues out there. But Slow Wolf then, going through the chicane, looked like he was going very slow, but whether it's just how it is at the moment. But could be just the fact is it's just going very slow. But Skyfu then with a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane, that is not going to help him. But still got around 14 minutes to go in this race. Then it looks like JMR may have this race sewn up, but bear in mind any mistake from him. But could be very interesting to see what will happen between him and Lemos going into the next sprint races of the season at Imola in 2 weeks' time. Excuse me. That will be quite interesting, because that is where the weather will be brighter and it will be drier. No, I can guarantee you that. But JMR then still leading from Lemos, followed by Slow Wolf, with Skyfu still has 2 laps to go to take his his drive-through penalty. He's probably thinking that's a bit unfair, but rules are rules. But if he doesn't take it, unfortunately, then he will get disqualified. I think it has happened before where someone did not take their drive-through penalty and they did get disqualified, or didn't take their stop-go penalty for track limits a couple of seasons ago, which I can't remember who that was either. But obviously when you're trying to race it, you know, you're trying to race hard and trying to get away, but obviously trying to get a gap from your teammate as well. May seem quite a bit between the likes of GD Sport. It's 13 minutes to go in this race then. Still 13 minutes to go. We're still trying to push on with the likes of DC Joe and Chris Allen. Future Revenge still there. It's a bit of a weird one at the moment with the likes of JMR still leading from Lemos, and then of course Slow Wolf. Fair play to Slow Wolf, getting into top 3 of the race. It's great to see a Bentley onto the podium this time, as well as getting into what could happen as he makes a bit of a mistake there, put the commentator's curse on him just about. Don't really want to be doing that, but still got a gap from of course his teammate, well, one of the other Bentley of Skyfu. But Skyfu has got to take a drive-through penalty for obviously speeding in pit lane. Luckily he didn't. Is he going to do it this time round, or is he? No, I thought he was going to do it this time round, but no, he's got one more lap to do it. Otherwise, he does get disqualified. Stewards are keeping an eye on him, as well as the marshals on the start-finish line, reminding him of that. Otherwise, he gets the dreaded black flag, and You won't want that in this race. As James comes up towards the NGK chicane for the 30th time to go on to lap 31. It might even be lap 32. Let's have a look at what it says. Yeah, it says 30 on his lap counter. So he's about to start lap 31 with 11 minutes to go, just about. I'll tell you what, fair play to him and Lemos. These two always have great battles regardless, but Jeremiah then to get into the race lead, it could be very interesting to see what's going to happen. We're just having a look at Skyfu at the moment. I hope he does do his drive-through penalty, because I hate him to get disqualified after such a good race tonight. But soon figure it out to see what goes on. But Slow Wolf then coming through the last corner to start another lap, but fair play, he's in of course third place on the podium at the moment, as Skyfu comes through the Schumacher S. But is it Schumacher S? Yes it is. It's just hard to tell half the time, but 10 minutes to go then. Not far off with the race ending then, with GD Sport rather in 5th. Chris Allen's still 6th, DC Joe in 7th, and of course Future Revenge thereabouts, but James is still pushing on with the likes of Skyfu. Let's see what he does. Is he going to make his drive-through penalty? There's a car off. Yes he is. I think Future Revenge is actually off at the last turn there. You've got to be careful not to speed in the pit lane this time around, mate, because Stewart is there just at the marshal post with the speed gun to say, you know, slow down. So he's in for his drive-through penalty, is Skyfu. Hopefully that clears, but if he does it again I think he may get disqualified. I think he obviously, when he went out, he just let go of the pit lane limiter too much, and then that's exactly what happened. But it's cleared now, so he's good to go, and that allows GLGD Sport to get into, of course, 4th place at the moment, which is going to be a battle between the grey and yellow cars at the moment. Of course, 4th and 5th, I beg your pardon. But could be very close with 8 minutes to go, but could be very carefully. But I think Skyfu's been allowed past by GLGD Sport, so could be very interesting to see what they have. What Jeremiah, fair play to him, with 8.5 minutes to go. He's not put a foot wrong in this race, with the likes of Lemos still there. Slow Wolf in 3rd, then Skyfu back into 4th. Yeah, Slow Wolf 3rd, Skyfu back into 4th, GLGD Sport in, of course, 5th. Chris on 6th, DC Joe in, of course, 7th, and of course Future Revenge. Oh, he's hit the barrier. He's having a bit of a torrid time in that Bentley with 8 minutes to go now. So we've got around 8 minutes to go though. What's going to happen? Is JMR going to be... I want to see what happens, because, you know, is JMR going to stop for fuel, or is he going to push on as Lemos? Lemos is having a bit of issues there. He's running a bit wide, but could be very interesting to see what's going to happen between the likes of Slow Wolf and, of course, Skyfu, with the likes of GLGD Sport, the two teammates. But anything could happen in this race with 7 minutes to go in this. Jeremiah still wants to put a lap on these two ahead of him. Well, I think Lemos is just pushing on quite a bit as he goes through the last chicane. But can be very careful. He's picked with 7 minutes to go in this race. Still getting closer and closer towards the checkered flag though. Well, it's a Slow Wolf still 3rd, Skyfu, and of course 3rd at the moment, 4th rather, with GLGD Sport in 5th, Chris Allen in 6th, DC Joe still there in of course Future Revenge in 8th place, but sadly we've lost Peter from the race. Not too sure what happened to him, whether the Bentley's had an issue or not. It is another thing, but it's a bit unfortunate really, because we thought he was going to do really well this evening, but nevertheless James still powering his way out of one of the curves there in towards the hairpin. Then he's going to be taking a well-deserved victory, so we'll see how well that goes into the last 6 minutes of the race. He could be on course to take a well-deserved victory, as Lemos is around 10.399 of a second behind him, which, you know, it seems excuse me, it seems a bit weird with how things go at the moment, with the likes of JMR trying to push on for dear life, but who knows what's going to happen there. But we'll get JMR into the comments box just to have a quick chat with me after the race, as I like to find out what's going on. But he's got 5 minutes, so we've got 5 minutes to go. As I say, anything can happen. But who knows? But JMR so far so good in this race to try and push on. But it looks like he could be in for a good race victory here at the Nurburgring for round number 4 of season 6. I tell you what, fair play to him, as it will be a very interesting victory, I'm sure, for him, with Slow Wolf still 3rd, Skyfu still in 4th, believe it or not, but GD Sport still in 5th, with Chris Allen still trying to push on, and of course 6th place at the moment. Fair play. DC George 7th, and then you've got, of course, and of course 7th, and then Future Revenge in 8th. Excuse me, as my voice now slowly likes to disappear at this time of stream. But got 3 and a bit minutes to go. But I think JMR will be going on to the final lap. It does look like the rain has not disappeared at all. I think that'll hamper quite a lot of the guys into the last part of the race, but JMR, fair play to him. Bar any mistakes, he's about to probably go on the final lap, or he could be having 2 more laps out of it. We'll soon find out when he crosses the line though, which could be very interesting. So 3 minutes left, so he could be on to the penultimate lap, so that could be very interesting to see what happens. Lemos still in 2nd, then Slow Wolf still in 3rd, then Skyfu 4th, GD Sport still in course 5th, Chris Allen 6th, VC Joe 7th, and of course Future Revenge, where is he in 8th place at the moment. With JMR, fair play. I tell you what, not many battles now because the cars have equally spread out, but it could be going on to the final lap, JMR, very soon. But it depends on if he gets caught up though, and the checkered flag does wave, but we'll soon find out. But JMR, fair play to him. At the moment, James is literally going to be happy with getting the first win of the season, breaking his duck for the first time this season as well. But as Skyfu goes off track there, I don't think he meant to go off track, but fair play to JMR. He could be going on to the final lap and be very comfortable with ease, but we'll soon figure out what's going to happen. But Lemos still there, and of course 2nd Sky was a Slow Wolf rather in 3rd, then Skyfu 4th, then GD Sport 5th, then Chris Allen 6th, DC Jaw, and of course 7th, then of course Future Revenge in, of course, 8th. But I'll tell you what, James, fair play to him. I think he will be going on to the final lap now, but it all depends on if he can get the power out of these corners and literally cross the line before that timer hits 0. But I'm sure he's done it. I'm sure he will be delighted. Let's have a look exactly how well he's done. He's done very well so far this season. But to get a first win and pole position this time out in unforgiving conditions with the rain, with Lemos in second, but it looks like the likes of James is going on to the final lap, and so he's on to the final lap of the race. It could be a well-deserved victory for the Ferrari driver, season 5 champion. But who knows what he's going to do, because he's going to have to try and push on to try and get away at the moment, because Lemos is still there. That's across the start-finish line with Slow Wolf currently still there. It's going to be very close to see what's going to happen with the guys that are there, but obviously, you know, Future Revenge is going a bit slow there. I've got to be a bit careful that he doesn't, if James catches him up, that he doesn't hamper James's run. But fair play to JMR, he's not put a foot wrong this evening as Future Revenge goes off track, but I'm sure he will be abiding the blue flags as JMR then goes through the final for the final time round the hairpin up towards the Schumacher S for the final time. But as I say, anything can happen in Thursday Night Racing League, and it has proven to be a bit of a, I'm not going to say boring race, but it's been a bit of a equal spread out race now between the likes of Lemos and JMR. JMR's probably thinking, well, we've kind of knew Lemos was going to struggle in the wet, which, you know, it kind of looked like. It kind of sees the opportunity for JMR to come through and take, obviously, pole position, and then of course the race victory as he comes up towards the NGK chicane for the final time. Then JMR is going to take a lights to flag victory in round number 4 of the Thursday Night Racing League Season 6 for the PlayStation 4 lobby here at the Nurburgring. He's about to go through the final turn and powers down the start-finish line to take what is a fantastic victory of the night. He is going to be happy with that. I tell you what, he will be even more happy when he finds out exactly what that means to the championship table. It might mean that him and Lemos are getting closer and closer to the championship, but I'll tell you what, fair play to Lemos. Bit of a disappointing night for him, but to finish second on home turf, who knows what that brings, but fair play to him. He will be happy, and hopefully he will be going to try and stop James at of course Imola in 2 weeks time. But I'll tell you what, shout out of course to Slow Wolf for getting onto the podium, bringing the Bentley home in 3rd place. What an absolute stellar drive from of course Slow Wolf to get thereabouts. I'll tell you what, Chris Allen will be coming home in 6th, Skyfu and GDL Sport or GLGD Sport in 4th and 5th respectively. But that is a very interesting night of racing here at the Nurburgring for Thursday Night Racing League for round number 4 of the championship. I'll tell you what, it is going to be very interesting going into Imola, but I'll tell you this, it is not going to be it's not going to be easy going into Imola. But I'll tell you what, fair play to DC Joe finishing in of course 7th place. But I'll tell you what, James is doing donuts at the hairpin, at the first hairpin. But I'll tell you what, we will be grabbing him into the comms box, so give us 1 second while he does donuts. I'll tell you what, he's probably thinking, I'm going to be doing donuts, Hoppers is probably going to invite me, and I'm a bit wary, but we will get him into the comms box. Need to get him in just for a quick word, and hopefully he will hopefully see what happens. I'm going to hopefully get him in to the comms box just to see what's going to happen. Just give me 1 second while I go off stream just to message him on Discord to say I think that the server. But I think that's the server's gone down. But hopefully we can. Excuse me, coughing and spluttering at people. Don't really want to do that. But I'll let you have a look at my race car while we wait for JMR to turn up.
Good evening.
Hello mate, how are you?
Good.
You sound out of breath, lad.
I am. That was an incredibly tough race.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, the consistency was so much better today. So much better.
Yeah.
I didn't do a 2:04 the entire race, so really happy with that.
That's alright.
Oh.
Do you think you're going to stop Lemos in Miller, or do you reckon he's going to get revenge on you?
It's not a Ferrari track, Imola, at all.
Right.
It just doesn't suit the layout of the car being mid-engine, so...
Ah, okay.
I think we're going to struggle there a little bit, but we'll see how close we can get.
We'll see how close you can get.
will be a good track for the Ferrari.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit close. I think after tonight, it's now going to bring the championship gap down a bit. And I think you're going to be pushing on, and I need you to push on, because if you want to go back to back, you need to now think, well, okay, I've got the win for the season. I need to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I can't do a Nico Rosberg just yet, can I?
No, you can't. But no, it's been a bit of a weird night of racing, because you were second, and then I don't know what happened between you and Lemos. I don't know whether it was contact or something. Cause obviously,
no, he went wide at the hairpin down the bottom, touched the gravel, and spun all on his own.
Oh,
so
I didn't see that, because I was busy looking at the likes of Slow Wolf and
it happened very
Skyfu.
unexpectedly. He was about 2 seconds ahead of me, and then just spun out of nowhere.
Oh well, commiserations to him. I can imagine. I bet you're thinking, yes, I've got these.
Yeah,
but yeah, fair play.
Run away.
Fair play.
Yeah, it was a bit close as well, because I couldn't work out which side to go, because he spun. He held his brakes luckily, but I went round the outside of him for some reason, even though there was a big gap on the inside. But yeah, I guess heat of the moment makes you do funny things.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it makes you do silly things. It makes you do funny things. It makes you probably think, what's going on here? But fair play to you, mate. Pole position tonight, and then obviously wet weather conditions all the way through tonight.
Yeah,
it
was
probably
like Spa, wasn't it, last season?
Yeah, it's kind of like thinking, oh, here we go, and maybe things may have. I think. I hate to say this, but if it rains, some people crack under pressure and some people do better. But to me, it seems like you handled it quite well, and I think...
I love the wet. It's so good.
It's okay, we're requesting wet races all through next season for you. But yeah, fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you. And just a quick one, what are you looking forward to for Imola? Is it going to be, because obviously it's 2 sprint races, so it's going to be a different format again?
Yeah, if I can nail a quali lap in the first sprint and just at least get on the front row, pressure Lemos a little bit, then I'll definitely any opportunity try and challenge him a bit more, because I don't want him running away with it just yet.
No, I think that's the thing. That's what you don't want him to do. You don't want him to run away with that championship lead, and you want him to take the fight to the end.
Exactly.
And I think that's exactly what may happen. I think we may get a title showdown going into Kyle Army at the last round.
I hope so.
That's what I really want. because it will show exactly what season 6 has all been about. But
Exactly.
it's a shame that Stefano didn't race tonight, because it would have been a very good battle between the three of you.
Yeah, I think he would have been quick in the Audi actually. Yeah.
But fair play, you stopped the rot. You stopped the rot of Lamos getting away tonight, mate. So well done.
Yeah. I definitely think it started from that pole. I think that was the lap of my life. Honestly, that's the best pole I've had.
I think that's what you needed, was getting that pole position.
Yeah. I'll look back and I go, yep, couldn't have found any more time. That was just perfect.
Fair enough, mate.
Yeah,
But fair play, you've done really well tonight. Everyone's done really well. There's not been really any major issues. I think it's a bit of a shame with a depleted grid, but it is what it is. But
yeah,
you know, you've come out on top, and you have to go and spray that champagne now, and obviously go and
absolutely
celebrate with that pit crew of yours, and we'll see you in Imola in 2 weeks' time, mate.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Awesome.
it's been very good for the commentary side this evening. And
Yeah,
bit of a difference having me on screen as well for the first time.
I look forward to that.
But it just shows that, you know, if I put the camera on so people see the face of the commentary instead of, you know, just listening. But
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Fair play to you, mate. And I'll let you crack on, because I need to crack on.
Thank you very much, mate.
I will catch you in 2 weeks' time. You will, indeed, mate.
Alright,
Bring it on. See you in a bit. Give him a minute to get out the comms box, because obviously, you know, winding down stream. Yes, that's fine. But yes, guys, that was obviously a race winner, JMR, in the comms box, giving us his thoughts and opinions about the race and about Imola. I can't wait for 2 weeks, because the sun's going to be beating down in Imola, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be party atmosphere. Is Lemos going to get revenge, or is JMR going to take the fight to Kyle Army when we get to the end of the season? That's obviously a couple of rounds to go. But, you know, guys, it has been an absolute pleasure tonight. It has been a whirlwind of adventure here at the Nurburgring. Obviously, you know, just looking at what's going to happen for the rest of the championship. We've got obviously the final 2 sprint races at Imola in 2 weeks' time. Then we obviously have 2 endurance races left at Bazzano, and then of course Kyle Army to round up season 6. It's going to be a thrilling end to the season. Be sure to join us on Thursday Night Racing League. Until next time, I've been Hoppers, Thursday Night Racing League. Have a good weekend. Have a brilliant rest of the week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, where the championship may hot up even more. Until then, ta-ra.